Hello,
Hey,
chaps. How
you
you
guys.
doing? How
Hey,
you
you
guys?
guys.
Hey, you
Hey, you guy.
guys.
How we doing? Are we well?
We are
Yeah,
well.
of course.
Legendary
That's
David Honor.
that's where it's from,
Grease for
indeed.
life.
Guys, congratulations on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I've watched the first three episodes and I am very much enjoying it. So I'm looking forward to watching the rest. But I thought I would wait and not do too much just yet because of still being at home.
I hear you.
Keep some stuff going. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so much in this show and it's so rich with so much stuff. I just wondered, maybe starting with you, Sean, about
Yep.
what it was about the scripts and about this story and meeting Sarah for the first time and Brittany and just kind of the whole package and what was it about it that kind of spoke to you both and made you want to get involved?
Well, you almost said it there, Scott. The package was whole before I even joined. In fact, I might have made it a little less whole, sadly, because I didn't quite match. I wasn't quite up to par. But Jesse, I mean, Colton and Jesse have a great relationship, and I'm sure he'll tell you about. But she was very, very good at uh, at making you feel welcome, at bringing you in when we were talking about it, when it wasn't a done deal yet. We spoke at length. I have my books here, my notes. I've so badly written. That was just me and Jesse, riffing at crazy length and at crazy speed about who this guy was and why we cared about him and what he fought for and what he believed in. And the obvious, we've said it many times, but the obvious roster of names involved was obviously a no-brainer. But it was the scripts read, and I hate using the word simple because simple, it seems to be underwhelming as a description, but it just read real and authentic and honest. And there was so much space for there to be variety of emotions within the delivery of that dialogue, but it wasn't particularly convoluted, and still the characters bounced off individually as who they were. And they have this, like, Bess and actually, to be honest, everyone has this really sort of wonderful soulful intelligence in them in their own right. I was about to say that Ethan and Best do, but then you register that Sam does as well, and that Benny does in his own right, and that Shalini's character, Prisha, as well. So that they all have it in their own right. But it was just so sweet and so lovely and so real about what it must feel like. I didn't even live in New York, and I felt like it was super impactful towards me as a human and as a performer in his 20s, trying to figure out what to do with my voice, if there is one, and where it is, and what road it might go down. So it was there was catharsis in there for me as well, that there was some sort of journey it could take me through. I talked for so long he forgot the question. That's
No,
my mistake.
it wasn't that. I'm still having the coffee. But yeah, I mean, for me, it was like Sean had said about Jesse. I'm a theater transplant, uh, a dying breed these days. But I was doing a new piece with Jesse off Broadway when she was casting this thing, and I had already made my goal within myself to make sure I followed her around wherever she went. We kind of had like a sort of, I'm sure she'd agree, a spiritual awakening of like, okay, at least for me, I was like, I know who I want to collaborate with and the ways in which I want to collaborate from going forward, from meeting her. And luckily she let the good times keep going, and that was my way in. And then of course I met Sarah, who uh I was saying yesterday, music doesn't lie. Like, she is everything her songs do. She is love and light and space. And she like is so understanding of bravery and struggle, and that was helpful on set too, of understanding that, like, even we as young people performing as young people struggling in New York, we were struggling in New York trying to perform as these people. And um even though it's her story, and with Jesse's lens, it's like it was a lot of space to go, yeah, but you have to find your voice too, you have to lead by example in this show.
Yeah.
So they gave us that leeway, she did. And of course, working with Britt, I mean, you can the proof's in the pudding. You can watch the tapes. I mean, like, it's unbelievable because I was there on the day and I saw it like this close, but some about also on camera. I mean, she explodes off the screen. Her kindness.
It doesn't always translate, but it does with Brit,
Yeah, with her, it's like
Mm.
I've never seen someone with so much inner benevolence, like just kind of blow off the screen. I was taken aback by it, and I was there. So I mean, I don't even know what it must be like to be a viewer who wasn't. I don't know. I mean, it was, yeah, it's inspiring.
Yeah, one thing you touched upon there, I mean, what I loved about the show is obviously it's set in New York, and New York is always such a wonderful setting, and you guys got to be in that situation, and only just kind of highlights and amplifies everything that's going on. But there's a real, like you said, a real truthfulness and a vibrancy to it. And I just wondered how important it was for both of you that it kind of didn't cut any corners. It was very truthful to the situation. You know, there's people out there who want to play music but struggle to do so. There's people out there that want to be filmmakers, all that kind of stuff, but it isn't quite as easy at that. And I mean, I just wondered how important it was for you when you read the script, so that it didn't shy away from the struggles that these people go through on a daily basis, just to fulfill a dream and try and get to that dream.
There is drama and there is struggle in the show, and so rarely now do we see shows that don't have nefarious drama. So any criminal acts. A lot of it is actually just human sociological problems that come with the lives that we live in this modern world. And New York has so many different frequencies for you to vibrate by, depending on the neighborhood, depending on the street corner. So it was weird. I've done shows that have been larger in scope or in requirement, and have ended up quite convoluted and messy, and you know, staying true to what Sarah and Jesse have, which is courage in their conviction and a beautifully unique, strong voice. It was the same on set. There were some days where it was just so simple and obvious, thanks to the fact that from the ground up, there was a sense of understanding of what this was. And also, like Colton touched on, the space for us to implement ourselves within it. So it felt super important that it kept those struggles, but it didn't seem remotely challenging to do so. It was all very obvious and there from the ground up the whole time. It was the focus was always there. The discussion was always present in touching on things that maybe hadn't been, you know, turning up shades, closing down things. But it all seemed very smooth. I mean, we finished days early at some point, which I shouldn't say in case I jinx it for the future. But I've never ever finished a day early, ever. Yeah. And there were some days where it's just like, that's it. We have all the lovely stuff that we need for this lovely day. Should we all go home and have lovely talks to our friends? And yeah, it was great.
Or have a grilled cheese. That's
yeah.
No, I remember. The thing is, it's like, it's also, like Sean's saying, it's in the writing. Like, it was in the script, in the DNA of the show when we got it. I remember reading the scene in episode 2 where we're in the storage unit for the first time collaborating on a song. And I was like, I make music. I mean, anyone knows who's an artist. When someone comes to you with genuine critique from like a helpful place, even of your stuff, of something that is like 100% your words, your thoughts, it had such a very authentic sort of like balancing act between the two of them. The writing was so unique in the way that it wasn't musicians just being like, wait a sec, if I play C and then you play G, and like, it wasn't just immediate. It was showing that these people were going to have to, even though they're obviously like soulmates musically, it's going to take a second. That felt so honest to me in terms of conversations I've had about anything from acting to writing music or anything. It's just like, it's a sensitive subject to be an artist. You're purposely putting yourself on the line, your voice on the line. And even from your best supporters, sometimes it's not easy to hear. And so that was where the truth was for me. I was like, oh my gosh, I was gobsmacked I was like, I've had that conversation and it hurts.
Yeah.
So, well, guys, thank you so much for your time. My time is up, unfortunately. I could talk to you for ages, but alas, never mind. But good luck with the show. I really, really enjoyed it. And thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Stay safe.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey